Hey guys, here's a little video for you when you're feeling some anxiety or some stress during the day, and that stress leads into the nighttime, and you have trouble sleeping, or if you wake up in the middle of the night and you can't go back to sleep, this little flow is for you, okay? So you will want a blanket, you'll want some blocks too, just in case, and always maybe even wear some comfortable clothes too to keep yourself feeling nice and warm. And then also you might want to be by a wall, and if you're not by a wall, it's not a game changer. Okay, so what I'll want you to do first is I'll want you to come down to the mat, and you're working with child's pose. Okay, and for some of us it could feel good to take our blanket and make a nice long portion of the blanket, and if it's comfortable, you could lie down with your head on that blanket to give yourself a little extra support. You might even want to add in a couple blocks and put it underneath the blanket. And if you have a bolster, this is even better. But this way, you can give yourself like a little supported child's pose. And this is just going to help the spine stay, nice and straight. It just feels really supported. So if you are able to do this, great. If you don't have any of the props, feel free to just come into a regular child's pose. Just breathe in and out. And notice you have to adjust. You might have to slide the blanket and the blocks a little bit lower, so you have a little more support on your pelvis, the belly, the chest, and the head. Maybe it has to go a little higher. Then breathe in and out. Your shoulders to relax. Allow that mind to settle. And if you need to adjust the arm some, that's fine. And even if you need to turn your head to the side, if this would feel better, go ahead. This version of a child's pose just gives you like a little support. It may make it a little bit easier on the knees. You might not put as much pressure on the knees. It may feel really good for your hips too and your back. Good, so let's take a nice deep breath in. Full exhalation out. I'm going to slowly come up from this child's pose. Take your time. You can put the props to the side. And then come onto the belly. We're going to work right into a Sphinx pose. When we get into Sphinx here, don't think that you have to be so rigid and upright, all right? You actually could slide your forearms a little further forward. Let the shoulder blades go down your back. And hold here. And you're also more than welcome to slide your arms a little further forward. And more the upper chest begins to touch the ground. And this could just feel really nice for your back. But it's a wonderful way to ground yourself. Because now the pelvis is in direct contact with the earth. And if this is still way too much for your head, grab one of your props. Maybe that block, and you can put your forehead on the block, like so. Or it could be flipped over a little lower. But wherever you end up, the key is to really allow the muscles to release, but to feel your pelvis in contact with the earth. That'll help ground you here. Take a nice deep breath in. Full exhalation out. If you have the prop in front of you, remove it. Come all the way down onto the head. And then we're going to work right into a half frog pose. So you can take your arms, like cactus arms, I like to call them little touchdown Jesus arms here. And your left leg is going to be straight, okay? You'll bend the right knee, and you'll take that right leg and try and work it to a 90-degree angle from your hip, knee, to the ankle. And keep that right foot flexed so your toes are pointing towards the wall. You'll then turn the head to look left, and then just let the body melt down into the ground. If your right knee is sensitive, slide your blanket under the knee. Or you could always put that blanket, under the pelvis or the thigh, in case the pelvis is lifted a little too high, you have too much of an anterior tilt. And that way you can square the pelvis up. And then adjust a little. Do you need to bring the arms down a little more? Do they need to kind of go more out like a Y shape? It actually could feel good for some of us to extend the right leg straight out to the side. And you'll hold there. So what's important is you're doing what's right for you. You're breathing in, breathing out. Good. And on your next exhalation, slowly extend the right leg back behind you. Pause for a moment as you bring your forehead back in contact with the earth. And then we'll change sides. You'll take the left leg out to that 90-degree angle, make adjustments. Again, do you need your props? You'll turn and look to the right. And just let the bones fall right into the ground. This pose is wonderful for really getting the body to become grounded. Because you can feel the hands in contact with the earth, the wrist, forearms and shoulders, the pelvis, your thighs and knees and shins and the feet. Just let everything be heavy. Take a deep breath in. Full exhalation out. You'll slowly extend the left leg behind you. Let's bring the hands under the head and let your forehead rest in the hands just for a moment. And we'll gently press ourselves up. And we're going to come onto our back. And if you're close to a wall, come close to the wall. Okay, be near it. And have your props with you. If you're not by a wall, we're going to work into a little supported bridge here. Okay? But it'd be great if you had 2 blocks, but if you only have 1, it's no big deal. Put the block or blocks to the side, and at the beginning, have them set up on the second setting. You're on your back. Feet are touching the earth, knees are pointed towards the ceiling. You're going to slowly inhale and exhale, lift the pelvis up to bridge, and then I want you to slide those blocks underneath the sacrum there, right where those 2 little bony protrusions are. And then you're going to slowly bring the pelvis down onto the blocks. And I have mine turned so they're going horizontally, but you can have them turn and they can go vertical and go in line with your spine. It's up to you. What's nice here is we get a little lift to the chest and we get more blood flowing down towards the brain. Palms go face up, okay, maybe about that 45-degree angle. And then you might even play with it where you might take your arms out to a T position and work the shoulder blades together. That could just feel really good for you. If you need to put the blanket under your head, do that for a little support. If you're a little chilly, put the blanket over you. Breathe in and out. Go ahead. Deep breath in. Full exhalation out. And then if you're not by a wall, you're going to make sure that the blocks are in a perfect position under your sacrum as you're going to lift the feet off the ground and then extend the legs up towards the ceiling for a supported shoulder stand. And you want a little lift here in the pelvis so the legs can kind of come back towards the face a little bit more. And then the arms are relaxed. So you might have to adjust 1 or 2 blocks if needed, okay, underneath. And you may even want to say, hey, I'm going to throw that blanket under my head. And that could feel really good for you, all right? But if you have a wall, from the supported bridge, you'd lift up the blocks, remove them, come down, gently roll to the side, press yourself up, gently go to the wall, bring the props with you, and you can have the right or left side of your body come close to the wall, so the actual whole portion of the right or left side touches the wall. You'll gently roll back, and here you can take that left arm, this is on the left side here, left arm against the wall, pressing the wall, but then lift your legs up, and then let that hand help turn you. So the legs are now up the wall, and your lower back's in contact with the ground, and your glutes are touching the wall. And you can come right here, legs up the wall. If you want to, you could take a block And you could lift the pelvis up and slide that block underneath that sacrum. And that might feel really good to elevate your hips up a little bit. You could put that blanket under the head. Or if you'd like to, you can take your blanket and you can unfold it here. And you can cover up. And now your key is to stay here. Remember, if anything doesn't feel comfortable, adjust. You need to put on your socks, put on socks. It's just a great way to get that parasympathetic nervous system kicking in at a higher rate to ease that anxiety, that stress, to calm you down. So you can get back to sleep. So go ahead and hold here as long as you'd like. If you need to go to any of the poses I showed you before this, go there. And hold as long as you like in those. So you can get back to sleep and be ready for tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a good night. Namaste.